everyone, it's awesome to have you with us. Today, we're gonna talk about one of the greatest athletes, in my opinion, the greatest athlete of all time based on accomplishments, Lionel Messi. And we're gonna study what made him so great so we can replicate the same thing. My name is Nima Attar. I've been building an organization in the financial industry since 2018 when I was 23 years old. I mentor thousands of people and I've spoken in front of crowds of over 30,000 individuals talking about how we can build a mindset that helps us reach our full potential and become a better version of ourselves. And I think there's no better way to learn how to become great, how to become more successful than studying greats. And in my opinion, there's no one greater than the individual we're gonna talk about today, Lionel Messi. So let's go right into it. Let's talk about some of his stats in case some of you are not familiar with his career, so you truly understand why I and many others believe this guy's the greatest athlete of all time. Let's start with the Ballon d'Or award. The Ballon d'Or award has been given to the best football player of the year since 1956. Now, in the history of this award, only 5 players have managed to win it 3 times or more. Marco van Basten won it 3 times, Cruyff won it 3 times, Michel Platini won it 3 times, Cristiano Ronaldo has won it 5 times, and as of today, Lionel Messi has now won it 8 times. Here's the crazy part about this. Only 2 of these players have won it 3 times in a row. Michel Platini won it 3 times in a row, and Cristiano Ronaldo has won it 3 times in a row. Lionel Messi, by the time he was 25, had already won this award 4 times in a row. And you gotta remember, this is the most competitive sport in history. You know how there's NHL, there's NBA, there's NFL? Imagine 5 NFLs or 5 NBAs or 5 NHLs. That's how competitive this sport is. So whenever you're comparing football players to other sports, I don't think you can even compare it because the competitiveness in this sport is another level compared to other ones. Now, if you're wondering why Maradona and Pelé never won a Ballon d'Or, even though they're noted as 2 of the greatest players of all time as well, it's because the award was only given to European players up until 1995. Now, if the Ballon d'Or stat is not enough, let's go into another one. Lionel Messi played 1,045 games in his career, which is already remarkable enough because you gotta understand, the top of the top professional players usually have 400, maybe 500 games that they've played under their belt. So 1,045 games is already an accomplishment. But if that wasn't enough, this guy managed to score 821 goals and have 362 assists in that time. So let's talk about consistency. Now again, if this is not enough, I'm gonna give you one more stat and then we're gonna go into the video. This guy ended up scoring 91 goals in 69 games just in the year of 2012. This is a sport that averages 2 goals per game between 2 teams. If this is not enough, let me give you one more stat to tell you how crazy this is. In 2012, Manchester United, arguably one of the greatest Premier League clubs in history, scored 85 goals. That means that Messi outscored almost every team in 2012 by himself. I think there was only 2 teams that have scored more goals than Messi in 2012. One, Real Madrid, which is arguably the greatest club side of history, and 2, Barcelona, which is the team that Messi played for. So I hope this gives you a good understanding of how great this guy is, so you pay good attention to the rest of the things that I'm gonna say, so you can learn to become great as well. Here's the first quality that we can learn from Messi and duplicate in our own lives: work ethic and discipline. Whenever people compare Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, they go, Cristiano Ronaldo is a hard worker, Lionel Messi is a God-given talent. Here's the truth though, Cristiano Ronaldo was also very talented, and I'm sure he was harder working than Messi is, but he also was very talented. And yes, maybe Lionel Messi didn't work as hard as Cristiano, but I promise you he worked very hard to get to where he is as well. Because talent alone does not get you to the level of success that Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo got to. And if you watch these guys' videos from the past when they first started playing, you can visibly tell these guys improved in all areas of their game. But here's one thing that really stands out, that shows me more than anything how hardworking Lionel Messi really is. In 2014, Argentina had a chance to win the World Cup against Germany in the final. The game was tied 0-0 all the way to the 90th minute. It goes to extra time. Götze scores a goal for Germany in extra time. Germany's up 1-0. The last minute of the game, a free kick is given to Argentina, and who steps up? Lionel Messi. The whole nation's watching this guy. He's got all the pressure on him, and he totally shanks that free kick into the stands. Argentina lose the final, and Germany left that World Cup. Now, here's an interesting stat for you to know. Before the 2013-2014 season, Lionel Messi had only scored 17 free kicks in his whole career. After the 2014-15 season, Lionel Messi scored 39 free kicks for a total of 65 and went from someone who was not even known as a good free kick taker to now being noted as one of the greatest free kick takers of all time. You think that was an accident? No way. Here's what I truly think happened. I think Lionel Messi went into that changing room after that game, and I think he sat there and thought about that free kick. And I think he thought about that free kick for many, many, many years. And I think he made a promise to himself. He said, I will never be in a situation again where I have a free kick and a chance to win the World Cup and mess it up like that. And I think since that day, he went to work on his free kick skills. And the stats prove it. So if you ever thought Lionel Messi didn't have work ethic, he didn't have discipline, let me tell you something right now. This guy is one of the hardest working and one of the most disciplined people you'll ever know. Because if this guy already dominated the sport at the age of 25 and continued to have the success that he had, that doesn't happen with talent. That happens with discipline. So that's the first thing that we can learn from Lionel Messi. Have great work ethic, because talent alone will not get you to greatness. Here is the second quality that makes Lionel Messi such a great: persistence. Now, yes, we all know in order to become great, you have to never give up. You have to be persistent. You have to be relentless. It's easier said than done. And one of the greatest examples of Lionel Messi's persistence is his career with Argentina. Look, since this guy was a kid, all he wanted was to win a trophy with Argentina. That's all he ever dreamed about. And guess what? The Argentinian nation was waiting for someone to duplicate Maradona's success. So when Messi came on the spotlight, everyone was like, this is the guy that's gonna bring us glory. But guess what? In 2007, he loses the Copa America final against Brazil. In 2014, he loses the World Cup final to Germany. In 2015, he loses the Copa America final to Chile. In 2016, he loses the Copa America final to Chile. And this time, not only does he lose it to them, but he actually misses a penalty in the penalty shootout. And he was so devastated after the game that he actually retired from international football. But just to give you an idea of how crazy this is, it's one thing to lose 4 tournaments. That's already tough enough. Imagine losing 4 finals. So this guy retires, and Argentina is now struggling to even qualify for the World Cup in 2018. So he comes back out of retirement, helps Argentina qualify for the 2018 World Cup, just so they could be knocked out of the World Cup by France in the round of 16. I always say, it's darkest right before dawn. And if you study successful people, some of their greatest successes came after some of the hardest times in their career and in their life. And this example of Lionel Messi going through all these failures with Argentina is a beautiful example of why it's always darkest right before dawn. Because guess what? After all these failures, after all these finals that he lost, he came back in 2021 and won the Copa America against Brazil for Argentina. Then he comes back in 2022 and wins the Finalisma against Italy and gets his second international trophy. And to top it all up, in 2022, he wins the World Cup against France in the final. And by the way, if you thought all those tournaments was easy, all those tournaments had their own challenges as well. In the World Cup in 2022, if you were watching, he lost his first game against Saudi Arabia and everyone started to doubt whether Argentina can even make it out of the group. Forget about winning the World Cup. But the truth is, it's always darkest right before dawn and everything happens for you, not to you. Let me share something really quick here with you. You know, one of the reasons I believe Argentina was able to beat France in the final was that they had such a hard time getting to the final. They lost to Saudi Arabia, and after that game, every game for Argentina in that World Cup became like a final. So now imagine every game you're playing like your life depends on it with that level of urgency. And every game that you win, your confidence goes up a little bit. Compared to that, to France's journey in the World Cup in 2022, they're winning all their games easily. They're walking through teams. So they're walking into the final just chilling. So that's why if you watch the World Cup final, in the first 45 minutes, France couldn't even keep up with Argentina because Argentina's intensity was here, France's was here. Why? Because Argentina was playing at this intensity every game of the World Cup, whereas France was just walking through teams. So if there's anything you want, as an example of everything happens for you, not to you, this is it. Because I believe if Argentina didn't lose that game to Saudi Arabia, they wouldn't win that World Cup. So if you're going through failure, always remember, everything happens for you, not to you. And if you have that attitude, you get the opportunities out of all your failures. Here's the last thing that I believe truly made Messi as great as he is. His ability to stay focused despite of all the distractions that could have come his way. Look, in my opinion, there's 3 tests that all of us have to face in order to become successful. The test of failure, the test of distractions, and the test of complacency. Imagine if by the time you're 25, you're already the greatest player in the most competitive sport in the world. Don't you think it's easy to get complacent? Don't you think with all that money, with all that fame, with all that recognition, it's easy to get distracted? 100%. But guess what? The thing that makes Lionel Messi so great, the thing that makes Cristiano Ronaldo so great, is their ability to stay consistent for such a long time. And here's why they were able to do that. 1, they're both very humble. I get it. Cristiano Ronaldo is a little bit more outspoken. Lionel Messi is a little bit more quiet. So people think Messi's humble, Ronaldo's cocky. But I truly believe they're both humble, because you can't keep getting better at the levels that these guys kept getting better at if you don't believe that you can get better. So 1, if you want to stay consistent, be humble. Here's the second thing. Both Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo had associations around them that made it easy for them to stay consistent and not get distracted. So 2 things for everyone. If you want to be more consistent, if you want to be more focused, if you want to avoid distractions, if you want to avoid complacency, 1, be humble. Don't think you're better than you are, and always look for ways to get better. And 2, set up associations and an environment that make it easy for you to stay focused and keep you from getting distracted. Hope you enjoyed that video and got a lot of value from it. If you click right here, I got a great video for you that's talking about time management, how to be more productive so you can make the most out of your day. And if you want to see more content from me, click the subscribe button, click the bell button so you get notified every time we have a video, and let's continue this journey to greatness together. Thank you. Have a great day.